If you like this video, get my free ebook, The Little Book of COVID Red Pills at redpillcovid.com. It will teach you the top 5 arguments to red pill anyone on the dark realities of the COVID regime and why we must never experience this form of Western Fangkong again. George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984 is set in a totalitarian state dominated by a single ruling party. Today, the country that most closely resembles his dark vision is China. The West must wake up to this fact as, for reasons we will explore, China is intent on imposing its style of Big Brother authoritarianism on the Western world. How it intends to do this, why and what must be done to stop it, is the subject of this video. Since the Communist Party seized power in 1949, the Chinese people have lived under an authoritarian system. Although the modern Chinese state is more akin to 1930s Italian fascism than its communist past, the reality for the average Chinese citizen remains the same: no civil rights and complete subjugation to the state. One of the primary ways China's rulers maintain their control is through their Orwellian system of Fangkong. Fangkong, which combines public health with the powers of a police state, allows the Chinese regime to control their population for any reason by any means necessary. This includes wrong think, as the Tibetans and Uyghurs know only too well. When the health of the state is conflated with public health, and in the absence of Western-style civil rights, there is no action the state cannot take. This is why modern China is the land of lockdowns, vaccine passports, and social credit scores. All are useless and even harmful as public health measures, but they are extremely effective as a means for Big Brother to maintain power. The Trojan horse of public health is also how the CCP intends to mold the world in its own image. Since the fall of the Berlin Wall, China has been engaged in a war by other means to subvert and corrupt the West into accepting its own totalitarian values. In the war between Western-style bottom-up liberalism and Chinese-style top-down authoritarianism, the primary weapons the Chinese wield are propaganda and public health as exercised through the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization was founded in 1948 at the behest of the Chinese delegation, with an assist from an American State Department official and communist sympathizer named Alger Hiss. Since its founding, the World Health Organization has been a wolf in sheep's clothing, using public health as a means to corrupt the liberal world order. This was on full display during the pandemic, as the WHO became one of the main conduits by which China exported its Fangkong policies. Prior to the pandemic, such medieval and authoritarian policies as lockdowns, vaccine passports, and social credit scores would have been seen as a gross violation of Western civil rights. They were only accepted due to the propaganda efforts of the Chinese government and the World Health Organization. In true CCP style, these negotiations are being done in secret. Do you trust the CCP, the WHO, or even your own government to protect your civil liberties? What are they hiding? Despite the fact the WHO performed miserably during COVID, literally getting everything wrong while promoting medically useless Fangkong measures, this new treaty will give this failed institution more power. This could lead to permanently binding these authoritarian measures such as lockdowns, vaccine passports, and quarantines on member states. If allowed to occur, this would amount to a coup by the CCP over the national sovereignty and civil rights of Western nations all over the world. The Enlightenment bequeathed the West with the great gifts of reason, science, and civil rights. The current health regulations reflect this by stating that health measures should respect human dignity, human rights, and fundamental freedoms. The proposed changes wipe these away, replacing them with principles like equity and inclusivity. These changes reflect Fangkong values and reduce the commitment to human rights in the application of international health regulations. One of the biggest disasters of the COVID regime was the censoring of dissenting voices, particularly those voices that challenge Beijing's false narratives. The proposed amendments include provisions for monitoring and censoring online information deemed false and unreliable about health threats identified by the WHO. They are literally creating an unaccountable ministry of truth that will go beyond even Orwell's worst nightmares. The World Health Organization proved itself to be unaccountable and incompetent during the pandemic. It led the charge against science, civil rights, and basic human decency the world over. Given its roots in the totalitarian system of Fangkong, this is not surprising. Rather than given new powers, this updated pandemic treaty should be consigned to the ash heap of history, along with the HO itself.
If you like this presentation, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, as it will really help the channel out. And don't forget to get my free ebook, The Little Book of COVID Red Pills, available at redpillcovid.com.